Okay, today we're going over how to find slope. Slope is a number used to indicate the steepness of a line. Slope uses the variable m, so m equals rise over run. Well, since we're looking at graphs first, we're going to use rise over run. So rise means how much we're moving up or down from the graph. So if I start with this point on the left, I'm going to see how far I rise. So I'm going up 2, going up 2 from the point. So I'm going up 2, that's positive 2, and then I'm going to run. Run is how far I move to the right, and that's going to be 3 units to the right. Okay, so on our rise, it's going to be positive 2 because I'm going up. If I were to go down, it would be negative, and I always want to run to my right. That keeps the run positive. So my slope for this line is 2 over 3. And what that means is I'm moving up 2 units and running 3 units to the right. So every point is going to be 2 units up and 3 units over from each other. Number 2, I'm going to start at my left point. It's at negative 4, 1, and I need to check my rise. Well, I'm not going up or down, so my rise is staying the same at 0. And my run, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units to the right. However, 0 divided by 7 equals 0. So when we have a 0 slope, that means I don't have any steepness to the line. And as you can tell, my line is horizontal. So anytime you see a horizontal line, it's going to have a 0 slope. There is no steepness. Example 3. I have 2, 4, and I'm going to rise, in this case actually go down 2. Since I'm going down, that's going to be indicated with a negative 2. And then my run is going over 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So I'm running over 4 units. So my rise over run, or my slope, is going to be negative 2 over 4. This is not reduced fraction. We do want to reduce our slopes, so negative 2 over 4 can reduce to negative 1/2 because I can divide both of them by 2. So my slope is negative 1/2. Now, if we don't have a graph, then we use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and this is the slope formula when you have 2 points. So we want to label those points x1, y1 and x2, y2 to find, and we want to find the slope of the line that passes through the points. Okay, so this time we're going to use this formula because we don't have a picture to count the points. And I want to label my points. Labeling the points is very important. It helps keep us organized and helps us put the numbers in the correct spot in the formula. So this is x1, y1 just because that's my first point. And this is x2, y2 just because it's my second point. Okay, so now that I've labeled them, I'm going to plug them into the formula. So my y2 I've labeled 5 minus, and y1 I've labeled 1. That minus sign is a part of the formula. One of the biggest mistakes is people leave them off. So please make sure you do put your minus sign in there. Divided by x2 is 4 minus, and then my x1 is negative 2. So I'm going to put that in parentheses to separate the minus sign from the negative sign. From here I want to go ahead and simplify, follow order of operations. 5 minus 1 is 4. Here I have that double negative. Double negatives change to a positive. So I have 4 plus 2, which is 6. 4, 6 can be both divided by 2, so that reduces down to 2/3, and my slope is 2 over 3. So that means I'm rising up 2 units and running over 3 units from point to point. Number 5. First thing we want to do is label our points. x1, y1, x2, y2. Then I want to follow my formula. y2 is negative 2 minus y1 is 2 divided by x2 is negative 3 minus x1 is negative 3, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in parentheses. And now order of operations. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. I have a double negative, so that's going to change to positive. And I get negative 3 plus 3, which equals 0. Now the problem here is we can't divide by 0. So when we can't divide by 0, we call this slope undefined. Undefined, because we cannot divide by 0. An undefined slope is going to look like a vertical line. So a vertical line has an undefined slope. Number 6, I'm going to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2, and plug them in. So I'm going to have y2 is 1 minus y1 is 4 divided by x2 is 4 minus x1 is negative 3. So again, I'm going to put it in parentheses to separate the minus sign and the negative sign. And then I'm going to simplify. I get negative 3, and I have the double negative, changes to positive. 4 plus 3 is 7. So my slope is negative 3/7. Okay, next section. Okay, the next section that we're going to go over is a table. So we found slope of a graph using rise over run, and we found the slope using the slope formula through 2 points, but now we need to be able to find the slope, or also called rate of change, from a table. Okay, we did that last class period in a way because we looked at to see if the relationship was linear, and we checked to see if it had a constant rate of change. Well, I just need 2 points from our formula up here. I only need 2 points to determine the slope. So I get to pick any 2 points. So I'm going to pick the first one. So I'm going to label that one x1, y1. And I'm going to pick the last one. This is going to be x2, y2. You can pick any 2 points you want. Okay, so I'm going to follow our formula. So y2 is 15 minus y1 is 6 divided by x2 is 7 minus x1 is 4. And then I'm going to simplify. 15 minus 6 is 9. 7 minus 4 is 3. And then I simplify further and I get 3. So my slope for number 7 is 3. Number 8. Again, I can pick any point I want. I think I'm going to pick 10, negative 8. So this is going to be my x1 and this is going to be my y1. And then I'm going to pick 8, negative 7. So that's going to be my x2 and this is going to be my y2. And again, I'm going to follow my formula. So I have negative 7 minus, oops, I did my x first and that's not correct. So let me fix that. My y2 is negative 7, so that was correct. Minus my y1 is negative 8. Again, I'm putting it in parentheses to separate my minus sign and my negative sign. Divided by x2 is 8 minus x1 is 10. Now I want to go ahead and simplify. I have a double negative, so again I'm going to make that a positive, and negative 7 plus 8 is 1. And 8 minus 10 is negative 2. And that's already simplified, negative 1/2. So my slope is negative 1/2. Number 9, again, I'm going to go ahead and pick any 2 points I want. I think I want the 0 in there. That's easy to work with. So I'm going to do x1, y1, and I think I'm going to pick the last one because they're both positive. x2, y2. Again, you can pick any 2 points you want. So following my formula, y2 is 3 minus y1 is 0 divided by x2 is 1 minus x1 is negative 1, and again I'm going to separate my subtraction from my negative sign. Then I'm going to simplify. 3 minus 0 is 3. I have that double negative, so I'm going to change that to a positive, and I get 1 plus 1 is 2. 3/2 is simplified, so my slope is 3/2. And we do want to keep it at an improper fraction, because remember our slope means we're moving up 3 units and running to the right 2 units. Okay, at this point in time you need to turn your attention to the YouTube video called Slope Dude. Enjoy.